Hey, senior high, welcome to our final week of goals. Now, we've been talking a lot about setting and achieving our goals, big goals, small goals, and well, even God-sized goals. Everyone in this room has achieved something before. Now, maybe you haven't changed the world yet, but you've done some pretty cool things, like maybe winning a championship, improving your grades, learning a new skill, finishing a big project, maybe making it through a pandemic. So what is something that you've achieved recently? Don't be shy. This is a time to brag. So take a moment to share your achievements with the people in your small group. Go ahead. It feels pretty good to be celebrated for our achievements, doesn't it? Now, let's say your biggest goal in life was, to climb a mountain. So your family and friends, they all chipped in to buy you mountain climbing gear. They trained with you. They even jumped on a plane with you. They climbed the whole mountain with you. And at the top, they even grabbed your hand and pulled you to the top because you were kind of tired. It's pretty awesome, right? Great family. But what if that whole time you never thought to say, thank you? It's not a very good look, right? We've been talking a lot about setting and achieving our goals, but we couldn't wrap up this conversation without talking about these important words. Thank you. It's a phrase that you'll say pretty often. But today we're going to talk about how important this phrase is when it comes to our goals. Big goals, small goals, and God-sized goals. So for the last few weeks, we've been following the story of a man in the Bible who had a big goal inspired by a big problem. And today we're going to hear how that story ends. So just a bit of a recap. Long ago, the city of Jerusalem was destroyed by an enemy army, right? God promised the Jewish people that they would one day return to Jerusalem. And then Jewish people slowly began rebuilding Jerusalem. Although people were living in Jerusalem, Nehemiah learned that the walls were falling down. That's not a very good thing. So Nehemiah wanted to repair the walls to both honor God and protect his people. And the king allowed Nehemiah to return to Jerusalem to build a team that would rebuild the walls. But the thing is, he faced a lot of opposition. So despite mockery and, threats of violence, Nehemiah and his team continued rebuilding the walls. And after months of praying, planning, preparing, recruiting a team, and standing strong in the face of opposition, the walls were finally rebuilt in just 52 days. Now, the completion of this building project was a huge, huge deal. Nehemiah had accomplished his goal, and that was worth celebrating. So let's take a look at how Nehemiah celebrated his achievements, and let's see if we can learn something from that. To celebrate the completion of the walls, Nehemiah, he threw a party. But it wasn't a party just for himself. He teamed up with Ezra, the city's priest and teacher of the law and scripture, and they organized a big worship festival to honor God rather than themselves. Not only were the walls completed, but the Jewish people were turning their hearts back to God. It was everything Nehemiah had hoped for when he set out to complete his goal way back in chapter 1 of the book. So when Nehemiah's goal was achieved, he celebrated with joy and invited others to join with him. Now, this festival went on for, it was like an entire week, and it ended with a time of worship and praise for what God had done. The Jewish people may have done the physical work to build the wall, but they knew that the credit, it wasn't theirs. The credit was God's. They may have been working hard for 52 days, but God had been making and fulfilling promises to them since the beginning of time. And the completion of these walls was just one more fulfilled promise to add to the list. You see, when their goal was achieved, they gave God the credit. And here's how. Here's what they did. They praised God. They remembered what God had done for them. They acknowledged their own shortcomings, mistakes, and sins. And then they said, thank you. When their goal was achieved, Nehemiah was grateful to God and he was grateful to his community. As Nehemiah's goal grew, his gratitude for both God and his community, it had to grow too. Because the thing is, God-sized goals require God-sized gratitude. And so throughout this series, we've been inviting you to set some goals. Big goals, small goals, and yeah, even God-sized goals. So as we close this series today, I just want you to think about the goals that you've already achieved or that you're working on achieving, especially the ones that you need God's help to complete. Even if your goal is still in progress, there is still something worth celebrating. Whatever your goals are, how can you grow your gratitude right now? What can you celebrate with joy, right? What progress have you already made? How have you grown? How have you seen God work? You see, you don't need to wait until the end of a project to be joyful about its progress. And who do you need to thank? Is it God? I mean, probably. Is it a friend, a family member, a mentor? Who has helped you grow and achieve your goals recently? And how can you thank them? You know, some of the most influential people in my life were my teachers in school. And one of them, Mr. Pittman, and if you go to Aiden Bowman, you'll know who he is, but he was my band teacher 14 years ago when I was in grade 9. And he's one of the reasons why I'm here today. You see, he helped me find my voice. I was shy. I was an awkward teenager who wore green braces. I just became a Ryder fan, but big mistake. And what music helped me do was find confidence in myself, to find confidence in my voice. And it was because of Mr. Pittman's inspiration to me that helped propel me into finding that confidence. He saw something in me, even when I didn't. He encouraged me. And it's because of him that I think I'm able to do much of what I'm doing today. So in the middle of the pandemic last year, I emailed him and I thanked him. And he was really happy to hear from me. And I know that he appreciated the gratitude, even if it was 14 years later. So what can you celebrate? And who do you need to thank? Even if you feel like you haven't achieved as many goals as you wish you had achieved, there's still so much to be grateful for. You see, God has done so much in you already and through you, and this is only just the beginning. So what's next? What goal is God inviting you to set? And when will you begin? Go ahead, discuss some of those questions, and we'll see you guys next week.